Hey everybody, Fudgebudger here. Today I'm feeling like doing something really different for this channel and talking about something brand new. Yep, Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's kind of funny since this channel is more focused on rarer and older Spidey stuff. I don't really talk much about current day happenings, but I've seen the new Spider-Man movie 3 times so far, and I feel like maybe being timely for once and doing a little bit of a review of sorts. I've personally not been the biggest fan of MCU Spider-Man or even the MCU in general for a while here. I just think a lot of the aesthetics are a bit boring and further removed from what I envision Marvel to be. But I was really looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie. With the new director, Destin Daniel Cretton, new vision, it looked a lot closer to what I was hoping for all along with Spidey on film and part of the MCU, and I could tell it was looking like it was going to be something special. I think the home trilogy is pretty good, you know. I don't hate those movies, but I don't love them either. I think they fall into this trap of making Spidey way too techy, and not much of it is even stuff he himself invents. I do have a lot of random issues with things maybe being a little too irreverent and silly for its own good. I don't think the movie should be allergic to having some whimsy, but I don't know. You've heard the complaints about MCU humor, and I feel like those movies have a lot of that, and a lot of those blander visuals too. I was just ready to get a movie where you got Spider-Man being Spider-Man, doing cool stuff and not bumbling around so much. Where he's the hero we all know and love, just established and on an adventure out of high school. I think we very much got that here with this movie. With Spider-Man in his prime, in his element, existing in Marvel's New York, bumping into other characters, but it's all well crafted and serves the story that he's going through, which is a very emotional and internal one. This is easily Tom Holland's best and most well-rounded performance as the character. Love how much time he spends in that incredible costume for the movie, and every time he's in it, he really feels like Spider-Man has hopped off the pages or out of those public appearances of decades past. It's straight to the basics in the best ways. Early on, there was a lot of speculation with them maybe taking inspiration from the other, maybe the Six Arm Saga or the 90s cartoon with its neogenic nightmare craziness and Man Spider. But I do appreciate that at the end of the day, the metamorphosis Peter's going through in this movie is a lot more understated, and that it's taking him with where he's at in life and him realizing he needs to have balance and embrace both sides of himself instead of just the Spider-Man life. It's transitioning to a new phase of life type stuff. I feel like these movies a lot of times just use the most basic idea of a thing from the comics and then go and do their own direction. Sort of like how the movie's called Brand New Day, but there's not a whole lot borrowed from that era of comics aside from maybe coming off of a clean memory wipe for almost everybody. But obviously they could have gone with the crazy Six Arms stuff or even a Man Spider nightmare to scare the kids. But I get the vibe that that wasn't the story they're trying to tell in general. But I do appreciate that it did feel like the pulse was on those classic Spidey vibes in a way that I feel like we haven't gotten in a while, just by virtue of being simple and to the heart, which is what I think we needed right now. One thing that was very exciting to me was having Spider-Man and the Hulk battling on screen finally. Spider-Man trying to punch the Hulk with one of the Shocker's gauntlets, that's cool. Now, the two characters were at one point Marvel's most popular and two most iconic characters, and they almost shared the screen in a Hulk TV movie that never happened, which would have had Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno's Hulk meeting Nicholas Hammond's Spider-Man, who probably would have been wearing the black costume. And that would have been cool, but it's been a long time coming, you know? I mean, sure, the two characters probably shared some frames in Avengers Endgame, but it's not really the same ballpark, is it? Having the Hulk here is an embodiment and reflection of similar fears Peter himself is going through is a smart choice, and it's choices like that which really elevates the movie for me to being one of the best we've gotten with the character. Seeing Spider-Man and the Punisher share the screen together was another really fun sight I never thought we'd see, but a really fitting one since, you know, he was originally a Spider-Man character too, and he feels more at home here than I think a lot of people would initially realize. It's more of that down-to-earth grit that I think the character works best with. But again, it's another character that's used as an effective mirror to Spidey, being on the furthest end of that spectrum, having no life outside of vigilantism. I'm not such a big fan of Spider-Man on the Avengers, and I much prefer him doing his own thing like he does in this movie. And the types of characters he's meeting makes more sense, and he's skating on those outskirts. It feels more fitting. I love that montage at the beginning of the movie, seeing some other villains like Boomerang, Tarantula, Tombstone, and Ramrod. That was random. But I knew going in Boomerang was probably going to have a tiny role, but man, I was hoping he'd show up somewhere else too. He's a fun character, more than people would give him credit for, I'm sure, but he's one that I think could have more potential on screen. Not in a super serious capacity, of course, but he could be a fun flavor of villain. He could be Peter's roommate. You could do some superior foes stuff with him. There's some good comedic potential with him, and the costume they made for his 3 seconds of screen time was so good. Tombstone also, I really hope they bring him back too, because he looked perfect as well. Glad he got a line or two at least. Just with characters like them, I think there's so much unmined potential for movies with characters like that. It's great to see them, but I'd also be a little sad if they're never used again in any capacity. Just like the director said, there was a scene with a bunch of classic villains that was cut. I hope they do more of that in the next one. Jean DeWolf being there was nice too. Any new classic supporting characters are good additions, especially when it's a pull like that. And I hope she returns in the next one too. Scorpion was fun also. He filled that nice role of the reoccurring villain, so I can see why they didn't bother with any more of them here. I guess we could get into spoilers, since the movie's been out for over a week and it's breaking just about every box office record under the sun already. You love to see Spidey doing it. He got that motion all by himself. I've seen some people take issue with the villain stuff, but I think what works for the movie is that it doesn't truly have a villain to punch at the end of the day. Not a traditional villain plot, really. I know some were hoping for Mr. Negative, but I don't think he would have done the same for the story without changing a lot of his character to fit this kind of role. Instead, it's a young pre-X-Men Jean Grey causing some havoc because she's alone, just like Spidey. Best Spidey stories are the ones where Peter's humanity is what saves the day, and I think they really blend the mutation idea and the isolation together to where the themes really work. Peter can relate to her loss, and she can relate to his, and these two characters opening up after being alone for so long is what solves their big conflict. And I think that's really nice. They even give us a meaningful Aunt May conversation with Peter after she discovered his identity, and it's one that comforts both Peter and Jean. I think that's a really nice use of Aunt May. I was never a fan of how little drama or anything resulted out of May finding out he's Spider-Man, and any juicy conversations were just skipped over. That's getting too off topic here. Punisher shooting and Peter taking the bullet for Jean highlights how at the end of the day Punisher's methods aren't right for what was needed, but I enjoy that even he still gets to have some humanity pop up at the end, spending those moments with Peter in the hospital, because Spidey brings out the good in everybody. That scene with Peter and the crowd as everybody cheers for Spider-Man and his recovery is maybe one of the best scenes with the character on film, because it embodies how we see the character and what he means to us as well. And seeing Peter get to stop and be among everybody after working himself to the bone, saving the city time and time again, and almost dying. Seeing that he is making a difference in his interaction with that kid, that brought me to tears, I gotta say. The scenes with Zendaya, I feel like she's finally getting used to a greater capacity. Like, they didn't do enough with her in the prior movies. She's very talented, but she never got to shine so much in these. All those beats are really strong, really ring true, and I think that's what sticks with me for this movie, is that they really made something that there was character focus first, and that's really nice. There was a lot of life on the sets and with the production design, and I know longtime watcher of the channel William D on Twitter was part of the production design team, and I'd like to give a shout out to his work on the movie. It really added those authentic flourishes. The costume is the best we've ever had. It's so simple, and that's why it's perfect. Before this, my favorite was probably the one from the first movie. The stunts and wire work was incredible. Just seeing a guy in costume jumping around so much for real, that's what we want to see. Spidey versus the Hand was crazy. I mean, how can you not love Spider-Man just fighting some ninjas? The choreography was so good in that scene. Just wish it was longer. There was honestly some bits like that where I was getting some Matrix Reloaded vibes in a good way. Like, some things could be so frenetically paced. It was, real edge of your seat stuff. And that scene with Spidey chasing the helicopter reminded me of the 70s TV movie Spidey Strikes Back. I really enjoyed this movie. It's up there for me. Is it my favorite Spider-Man movie? No, but it's one of the better ones. I've missed J. Jonah Jameson in this movie. Wish he showed up, even for a cameo. Seems like it'll be a while before Spider-Man 5, which is a good thing. Let them take their time like they tried to with this one. I don't really know what they'll tackle next, because there's a lot that they could do. Personally, I'd love some Hobgoblin in a Spider-Man 5. No, not Ned, but having Peter reconnect with his friend, just to have the both of them swept up into a drama where they could lose each other again could be fun, where Ned is framed for being the Hobgoblin maybe. Also would love to see Black Cat in a movie finally. I think with MJ still having her boyfriend, it would be a perfect time for Peter to cross paths with Felicia Hardy. She's probably the biggest Spidey character to not be in a movie yet. And I'm not counting that random Felicia in Amazing Spider-Man 2. She didn't do anything. Anyway, those are my general thoughts on the movie right now. It lingered in my mind a lot more than lots of recent comic book movies, which is nice. Made me feel things, which is a big plus. That's what you want. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. If you want me to do more videos talking about more general Spider-Man things instead of keeping it so niche all the time. Maybe even ranking and reviewing all the Spider-Man movies. Maybe even all the old TV movies. Maybe even old fan films. I don't know. What do you think? Thanks for watching. Have a good day.